The Constitution of India. For the proper functioning of a country, laws are necessary. And it is these set of laws which help to govern a country. The Indian Constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. The Constituent Assembly made the Constitution of India, and this was headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Thus, Constitution is a set of rules and it is in a written form. The main features of the Indian Constitution are federalism, parliamentary form of government, fundamental rights, independent judiciary, secularism, socialism, and of course the most important, separation of powers. Preamble is the opening statement of the Constitution, and it states the main aim and objectives which will govern the country. The preamble to the Constitution of India is very important because it contains the ideals and the basic underlying principles which are enshrined in the Constitution. The preamble also shows the way in which a government ought to run, and it declares India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular, and a democratic republic. India is a sovereign country. It means that India is a free or an independent country. It is not controlled by any foreign power. India is a democratic country. People elect their representatives. India has a parliamentary form of government. You have the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha at the center, and you have the Vidhan Sabhas at the state level. In some states, you have the Vidhan Parishad also. India is a republic. The head of the country is elected, and he is not a monarch. India is a socialist country. It believes in the welfare of the people, and India is a secular country. There is no state religion, and all people are free to practice their religion. India is a federal country. You have three levels of government. Basically, there are two. You have at the center and at the state. At the village level, you do have the Panchayati Raj. And there is separation of powers. You have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. The Constitution of India recommends that there be three organs of the state: the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The executive governs the country on behalf of the people. They are the decision makers. You have the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. The legislature refers to our elected representatives. That is the people elected by us in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. They are the ones who make the laws for the country, and they are also responsible for the implementation of these laws and in running the government. The judiciary, of course, is the courts who preserve the Constitution. You have the Supreme Court, the High Court, then you have other lower courts. In order to prevent the misuse of power by any one branch of government, the Constitution made each of these organs have a different special powers, and they do not impede into each other's area of jurisdiction. The Constitution of India is the longest written document. Let's revise once again. Federalism. It refers to the existence of more than one level of government in the country. Parliamentary form of government. The Constitution of India says that the representatives will be elected by the people. We have the universal adult suffrage. This means that anyone who is a citizen of India and is above 18 years of age has the right to vote. The existence of more than one level of government in the country is federalism. The citizens are governed by the laws and policies that is made by each of these levels of government. The Constitution of India guarantees universal adult suffrage. This means that every citizen of the country, irrespective of his or her social background, has a direct role in electing their representatives. And it is these representatives who are accountable to the people in a parliamentary form of government. Separation of powers, as you know, that there are three organs of the state. The legislature refers to our elected representatives. They are the ones who make the laws in the parliament, the MLAs and the member of parliaments, that is the MPs. The executive is a smaller group of people who are among these elected representatives only, and they are responsible for implementing these laws and, of course, running the government. You have the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. The judiciary is, of course, the system of courts in the country, and it is the judiciary which settles disputes and makes sure that the laws are obeyed, and all these laws made by the executive and the legislature are in accordance with the constitution of the country. Each organ, it acts as a check on the other organs of the state, and this ensures that the balance of power between the three is all right. Thus, the main features of the Indian Constitution are federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights. You can also write directive principles of state policy, independent judiciary with the power of judicial review, secularism, and socialism. Some more important things to remember. You have the 6 fundamental rights. You have the directive principles of state policy. Although these are not binding and you cannot go to the court if you're not getting the facilities as given in this. We have a federation, but it has a strong center and the universal adult suffrage, independent judiciary in which the Supreme Court is the apex court or the highest court in the country. The